Really quick, guys, letting you know I got a giveaway that I'm doing here in the upcoming month. Stay tuned till the end of the video for those details. What's going on, guys? So this one's gonna be a quick short video. I wanted to give you guys a few updates about Overprime. So like I promised you guys, I'm not gonna give up on any of the projects. I'm not gonna be biased towards any of the projects. So what we did as a community, you know, through Twitch stream and everything, we decided to play Overprime again 2 days ago, I want to say it was. And the objective of us playing Overprime was to just kind of revisit some of the points that we made in the last video. If you guys haven't seen it, I suggest that you do. But if anything, let's address some of the things that we noticed. And I think you guys will be surprised. Check it out. All right, so getting right to it. So the first thing that I'm kind of happy about when it comes down to Overprime, to be honest, is the fact that they decided to take a step back and they decided to openly say to the entire community, they're like, hey, well, you know what? We're gonna tone it down on the content. We're gonna focus on the game feel or the quality of the content, which is huge. It really is. Like, I don't know if you guys remember my last video. I made basically an observation that I noticed that Overprime was shoving as much content as possible, but not worrying too much about the quality and slowly improving the quality. It wasn't their priority. But now it looks like they've almost like inverted it. Now that they have all this content, they're like, hey, we're gonna slow down on the content and let's focus now on how the game feels. Now, if they successfully do so, depending on the time frame that it takes them to, you know, work out the game feel 100%, so to speak, they might honestly end up as the game that has the most content and the best feel, depending on their pace of progression. So who knows? We're gonna find out as time goes on. Now, something that is different this time along that we played is beforehand, it was a miracle if anybody was playing. And that was a lot of it due to the optimization, which we'll talk about here in a second. This time around, there were more people playing. You could easily tell. And it probably wasn't anything crazy, like maybe like 75 to 100 concurrent players, like nothing crazy. So there were maybe like 8 or 10 matches going at a time, but at least it was enough to consistently play and enjoy the game, to be honest. Now, I want to address a couple things here also, because a lot of people during our stream that we had brought up the validity and future of Overprime. So it's a very, very valid concern. I'll tell you that as far as validity, I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't give Overprime validity until it's on Steam or until they're on like a major launcher or stuff like that. Like for some, it's doesn't necessarily mean that way, because there's a lot of independent games out there that have their own launchers and such. But for a lot of people, it's a common belief that a game has to be under a certain like a certain launcher in order to have validity. So for the fact that Overprime is coming over to Steam, I do think that that's going to help the validity of the game. It's going to help the future of the game. A lot more people are going to play it, because right now I'm willing to bet like 9 out of 10 people that think about playing Overprime like consider all the install process, and it's not that bad now as it used to be, but they consider having to take extra steps for the install process, and they're like, nah, I'm just gonna wait till it comes to Steam. I mean, you guys got to think about it. We live in a society that if you're buying something on Amazon and it doesn't have Amazon Prime, you're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy it because I don't get it one day earlier. Like we're in a lazy culture, and you got to be mindful. Having to take all these steps honestly is hindering Overprime. So the fact that it's coming to Steam, I think is going to be a very, very good thing. Now, a lot of people in the Overprime community do feel like the game is focusing on being the OG Paragon. Now, to reiterate and clarify, a lot of these remakes are making adjustments as they see to the map, to the characters, etc., as far as how they believe the game should be played, right? Now, in Overprime, they're trying their hardest to stay to the true nature of Paragon. They're basically mirroring the abilities one-to-one. They're mirroring the maps as best as they can one-to-one. There's a few mechanics that they've added here and there, like, you know, changing up the prime features and stuff like that. But as far as when it comes down to it, it's I can tell you that at least right now, they definitely seem like they're trying to stick true to a specific version of Paragon, and it honestly seems right around the like V4, like V40, V41 area, like late Legacy, early Monolith. You can definitely tell that that's the feel that the game is going for, even though it doesn't feel 100% feel like that yet. You can definitely tell that that's what they're going for in its own. Which is like, speaking of feel, I honestly want to get right to it, the optimization. Now, ironically, they released an optimization patch the day after my video went live, the day after I sent my video to the developers. So I gotta tell y'all, like, they did a pretty decent job. Like, I was playing no problem, and of course, you know, I got a higher end rig, but I was playing no problem at over 100 frames per second. Everything turned up all the way to the highest on Epic, and the game feels a lot better. It looks a lot better, because that was one of my gripes before. Like, everything was working, but I don't know, like something was missing in the visuals. Like, I don't know if it was just like the tiniest little bit of texture or something. I don't know, but this time around, it really feels and looks better than it did that first time that I played it. And I'll be honest, like after just my first match that I played as Twin Blast, I was like, I'll be real with you, I kind of want to play another one, to be honest. And that's a very good sign. That's a very good sign, because the first time that I played Overprime, I would play a match and be like, I don't really want to play another one, but I'm gonna keep on going for scientific purposes, you know, just because we're trying to get research here. But this time I played a match and I was like, I want to go again. And that says a lot, especially from somebody like me, because believe it or not, I'm actually pretty picky about games that I play and shit like that. Like, I won't even play Minecraft, as good as it may look to some people. I'm just like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. It's not me. So it says a lot, and I'm glad. Like, it's a testament that they're taking a step back from the content and improving the quality, because that little bit that I saw was nice. And the update came the day after my video, so it took them about a week to fix their performance issues that they had in like with the FPS drops and everything in Monolith. So I don't know if they're 100% perfect. Somebody out there might still be having issues, but at least in my personal experience, I saw a huge improvement within a week, which actually makes me hopeful as well that their progression of updates is going to be pretty consistent and pretty effective at this point. Like this, like it's honestly leaps and strides. For those of you that haven't tried it, like that little update right there, it was leaps and strides, quite frankly. Now, I did want to mention, I want to touch on stability. I did have 2 crashes. None of them were in game. Both of my crashes were in the main menu. One of them was as soon as I launched the game, I was maybe in the menu for 5 seconds and then it immediately closed on me. I don't know why. Another one was after I finished the game, I was in the menu just looking at all the different like characters and items and stuff, and then it just crashed on me again. Not entirely sure what happened. I sent my report as to the crash and everything, but at the end of the day, at least it was not mid-game. But I don't know if people are crashing mid-game or not. From my experience in the games that I played, I didn't crash mid-game. Now, if anything, quite frankly, guys, I gotta say I'm surprised. I'm surprised because I didn't think that Overprime was going to switch up their, what do we call it? I didn't think that they would switch up their approach. Because they, like I was saying, going from a company that was so focused on content, taking a step back, you know, adapting to feedback given and saying, hey, now we're focusing on quality more. They, you know, they're not taking their eye off of content creation. Like, they're still going to keep increasing. But the fact that they're focusing, like, let's say like 9 out of 10 on quality is huge. It really is. I saw that little bit of difference myself personally. I'm excited to see what other progresses they bring, because if they keep this up and this game comes to Steam, it's going to be much more of a contender, much more considered, and I really think people are going to enjoy this game as it comes out on Steam if they do everything right. But that's it, guys. That was pretty much my adventure, and we're still going to keep on going back to it. Like, you guys got to be mindful. One of the main reasons that we're not doing like predecessor content as much, or for example Overprime content as much, is mainly just because of the fact that not that many people are playing those games. Like, it's weird. It's weird, even though Fault, you have to pay to get access because it is early access. It will eventually be free. A lot of people are gravitating more towards Fault for the time being. And for just because, honestly, I think one of the main factors is because it's on Steam. So I really think that Overprime being on Steam is going to make it a huge contender. If Overprime comes to Steam for free and it performs well, I think these other projects are going to have a run for their money, for sure. But if anything, guys, much love. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I appreciate all the love, all the support. You guys are fucking amazing. In 1 month, we more than doubled this channel's views. We went from 25,000 to 60,000. So you guys are a fucking bomb. If you guys made it this late in the video, a reminder, I am going to be doing a lightsaber giveaway, an Ultra Saber lightsaber. I'm going to be giving it away because you guys broke one of our Twitch subscriber records. So I'm going to be doing a Twitch giveaway. Now, the ways that you can enter is by simply following on Twitch or subscribing on Twitch. You get extra entries for that. I'm going to have the link down below in case any of you are interested in so. But thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. And I look forward to making more videos. Till next time.